Greetings, friends, and welcome to another recent vinyl finds. This is another entry into the VC community, another video to keep my VC cred. Picked up a few things over the last week or two, and going to show you really quickly what I've got. It seems like these videos are picking up steam as far as popularity, and that's good. That also means that maybe people also take a peek at my Project Gemini videos, which is, sort of why I do this as well. But anyways, this is my VC type video. Let's get rolling with what I got this week. So let's start with the 7-inch stuff. First up, this is the 45th anniversary pressing of Kiss's Shout It Out Loud. This is a reissue, obviously, of I believe it was somebody told me that it was a Dutch one, right, for some reason, but the writing on the back here seems to be in French, I think. I could be wrong. No, it looks like it's Danish. It says Danske, so I believe that's Danish. So I think they're trying to do a reissue of a Danish pressing. This is on yellow vinyl, and it comes on the original Casablanca sort of labels. I didn't have the crazy mislabeled one that's been floating around that people seem to think is a variation. I don't know how you think a machine screw up is a variation, and people are asking ridiculous money for this already. When it was out for reissue and pre-order, I believe it came to a total of like $30 with shipping. It's still a lot for a 7-inch, but it's mainly the shipping. It was only like $16, I think, without the shipping. But my point is that if you go on Discogs now and look this up, there's two sellers already asking $100 for this. Really? Come on, guys. I mean, this is just the same exact version of the songs that are on the 2014 reissue. If you take a look at the Dead Wax information, it's Ron McMaster who did this. So it's the same one. It's the one off the Destroyer vinyl. They just put it in 7-inch form. That's really $100? Okay, come on. Anyways, don't get me started with this kind of shit. Next, David Bowie. As you all know, I've been collecting my David Bowie 7-inch singles from the Lifetime series. I have 3 more to add to my collection. One of them is Golden Years, backed with Can You Hear Me? I love collecting these because I think the sleeves are fantastic. Also, the vinyl is very nice as well. They're all usually in fantastic condition. These are no different. They are on the black label with the sort of, I don't know what these are, what kind of centers are called. I know when it's punched out, they're called DJ punches, but I forget what they're called when you don't have them punched out like that. But anyways, they're all like that. This is, like I said, Golden Years. I have a couple more to show you here really quickly. Let me just put this back in the sleeve. The next one is TVC15, backed with We Are the Dead. So these are the singles off of Station to Station. The single vinyl is the same as like I showed before. They're all on the black labels. Okay, and one more. Yes, I got 3 this time. Usually I like to buy them in pairs, but I think this time there was one that was on sale for a little bit cheaper, so I jumped on it. And the last one that I got is DJ, which I believe is off of Lodger, and the backside is Repetition. Still got a ways to go till I get all of these, but slowly, one by one, I'm picking them off. Okay, I don't know why this one doesn't want to fit properly back in, but anyways, just to show you the black. Alright, so those are the 7-inch entries for this video. Let me just put this back. And I got a couple of 12-inch albums to show you. And some of these are some really cool ones, actually, that I've been looking for. And one of them is a sort of purchase. Okay, first up is, this is the Kiss debut album, but this is not just any one. Oh, if you're a collector, it's not just anyone. This is the 1976, I believe. A 1976 French pressing of the record on Vogue Records. You know what? Let me take it out. So, yeah. So here you go. So this is the debut. When you flip it to the back, you'll see at the bottom here, oh, my finger's right over the part. Distribution Vogue. See right at the bottom in the middle there? Yeah, it's a pressing from France. And you'll even see from the top corner there, that's the catalog number for France. This is on the Filmworks. So this is probably 77, excuse me, because they didn't start using these labels until 77 when Love Gun came out. So this would be a 77 or later pressing of Kiss. This also has, as you probably saw, Kissing Time on it. I don't believe any of the European pressings of this record came without that. If I'm wrong, let me know. Okay. Next up is a record that I was hunting for. This turned out to be a little bit of a screw up on the part of the guy on Discogs who sold this to me, but it still ended up being a pressing that I'm very happy with. That's kind of rare that happens. This is Genesis Trespass. This is a gatefold pressing. Yeah, somebody wrote their name in there. This is a beautiful laminated pressing. This is a German pressing of the record. You won't see any of that information to give it away. Maybe that serial number or the catalog number at the top might give it away. I believe, though, if you open this, yeah, at the bottom, you're not going to be able to see this, but I'll just show you anyways. At the bottom down there, you'll see made in Germany, printed in Germany. This is a German pressing. Now, originally why I wanted to buy this one was because the German pressings are always fantastic. This is no exception. This is a very heavy album, considering that this was done in, let me just check my notes. Yeah, this came out in either 72 or 73. Now, the reason why I wanted to get it was because the first pressing of this album in Germany was on the Philips label, the blue Philips label. But this is the later pressing from Germany, and this has the Mad Hatter Charisma label for it, which is fine by me because it sounds absolutely fantastic, this pressing. Yeah, just wanted to see if there's any kind of other information that I missed. No, it does need a little bit of a wash. I have to put it through my cleaning machine, but I listened to it already. It sounds really good. The vinyl is really heavy for like the mid 70s. That's what I love about these German pressings. They never skimp on this kind of stuff, and they always sound fantastic. So that's another hole in my collection that I wanted to get filled up, and I'll still be going for that Philips pressing. I will hunt it down. Okay, next is my purchase. I collect a lot of Moody Blues records. I do like their records. I've been mainly getting original Canadian pressings or US pressings. I do have one or two UK ones too, which sound great. But I did want to get myself one of the reissues. And of course, after I bought it, I realized looking later that people were saying, no, don't buy this one. And of course, stupidly, I did buy it, but I didn't realize not to buy it until after I bought it, which is Days of Future Past, the 50th anniversary Moody Blues pressing here. This has the original, let me just check here, the original 1967 stereo mix on here. Now, here's the and why people were probably warning people, because when they heard it, they said there's a lot of crackle, there's a lot of popping going on this. Some people even said that their records were warped. I really hope that's not the case with this. It comes on this very nice looking DRAM label. Now, mine doesn't seem to look warped to me, but you never know. They luckily came with a nice laminated sleeve, so I had high hopes for this, but then I realized that this record was manufactured and printed, or pressed rather, a GZ vinyl, and that right there made me go, oh shit, because I know as well as you people who collect, GZ is a name that doesn't usually come with quality assurance. It is probably the biggest pressing plant in the world, but that's why they're probably not that great at quality control. You probably go through so many records a day, they probably all look the same to everybody by this point. Yeah, so I haven't heard mine yet. I'll save judgment until after I actually listen to it. But from what I've read on Discogs, people are saying that some people have brought their records back 3 and 4 times and it still sounds shit. Luckily, this is why I keep telling people don't discard CDs altogether. Because I bought the anniversary CD, the deluxe CD set, and that sounds fantastic. And it also comes with a DVD of some of their performances of the songs off that record, like Nights in White Satin and some of the other songs on there too. Sounds great. Excuse me. And I think you get a remix of it and the original as well, and maybe some crazy mono thing too or something, but I don't remember offhand. But don't give up on CDs. Why? I mean, sometimes you can get more of the material than, you know, getting it on vinyl. I love collecting vinyl, that's why I do it, obviously. But don't give up on CDs. Sometimes they might be the way to go. And in this situation, obviously, I'm happy I got it. Now, the last record that to show you, and once again, whenever I show a record like this, sorry, I just feel like I have a cat hair in my mouth. Every time I preface a record like this, I always tell everybody, I'm not a big jazz head, not a big jazz collector. But, you know, everybody talking about the tone poets and how great they are. I am a audiophile person who likes great sounding albums. And the Tone Poet series is apparently the way to go if you like great recordings. And so far, the ones that I've gotten, I only have like Bobby Hutcherson, and I have a couple of Art Blakey records, but they're not the Tone Poet ones, but they are Blue Note ones. They all sound great. So I decided to get myself another Tone Poet record. And speaking of the great Art Blakey, I got Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Roots and Herbs. As you can see, I took off the label on the plastic, cut it out, and put it into another sleeve. I don't like those really flimsy kind of sleeves. So I got a proper sleeve for it. Here you go. Here's the actual label. And my camera sucks. I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't like zooming in. Tone Poet audiophile reissues, mastered from the original analog tapes, which they all do sound like that. Recorded by Rudy Van Gelder, who is a legend in the jazz recording world and music in general. Reissue supervised by Joe Harley and mastered by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. This was also manufactured at RTI, which is why it sounds good and the pressings are so good. Kevin Gray is also a fantastic remastering engineer. And it's funny, in the Dead Wax, it has Kevin Gray's initials in there, but it also has JH, which is Joe Harley. So I'm guessing that he is getting as much credit for the reissue as he is. Once again, here's the label. And here's the vinyl now out of the plastic, so it's a bit more clear. Beautiful, beautiful albums. I believe it's that, I forget what the name of the company is that does these jackets. But that's the same company that does all of them. So, sorry, the name just is escaping me. But anyways, as you can see here, fantastic looking album. And the players on this are great. I mean, you got Lee Morgan on trumpet, Wayne Shorter on tenor sax, Bobby Timmons on piano, Walter Davis Jr. on piano as well for Roots and Herbs and United, those two songs. And you have Jamie Merritt on bass. And of course, Art Blakey on drums. So again, let's take a look at the inside. Fantastic photo of the man. For me, there's two kinds of jazz records I mainly go for. The vibraphone stuff, I love. I explained that in the last video I did. Why? Drums, anything with drums on it, so Art Blakey is big for me. And guitar, obviously, so once I started researching into that, what the ideal guitar players are in the jazz world, I will start picking those up. Here you go. I'm sure you've seen these 100,000 times by now, but there's the Blue Note labels. Like most of these records, it seems to be that there's only like 3 songs aside on there, but it sounds great. And I'll tell you one thing. These records have made me seriously reconsider or rethink the way I record music and how I mix my records now, because they sound incredible, and a lot of these things were mixed down to 3-track machines or 2-track machines, and they were recorded on probably no more than 4 tracks back in the day, I think. And some of these might have even been recorded straight to 2 or 3 tracks, which makes me believe that it might be better to do a more simpler recording, even for my stuff. Because some of my songs on my records have like upwards of like 24 to like 30 tracks of material on their guitars, bass, drums, like sometimes 11, 12, 13 tracks for drums. Maybe it might be better to start approaching it like, some really good overhead mics, a couple of good room mics, maybe a kick and snare mic, and see how it goes from there. But, being that the kind of music I play requires a lot of detail and there's a lot of layering, sometimes those drums might get lost in the mix. But might be something to think about, because I like the sound of these records, how it just sounds like they're in the room with you. But will that kind of approach work with hard rock / hard progressive rock, or even symphonic rock or symphonic metal like I do with the Dark Monarchy? I don't know, but it's something I'm going to explore a little bit more in my own music. So I'm very anxious to see how that turns out once I start my experimentation. Maybe use a little less tracks and use the room a bit more, as they say, and see how it turns out. So that's it. That's my vinyl finds for this episode. I have some more stuff coming, so there'll be another video soon, and there'll be a new Project Gemini video coming very soon as well. Some things to talk about, I'm sure, very soon. So I hope you all are doing well out there, and I will talk to you all later. Bye for now.